They'll be calling you a radical. Let's review. Let's review everything Kevin Blanch said as the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate versus Kevin Blanch. Easy. So that's who I ended up being. That's who the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate ended up. They got their merit badge. So let's review. Let's review. Wake me up before you go. Never did plan on going solo. So let's review. I'm standing right there. I was in the Energy Solutions dump site protesting Mike Lee bringing in the Italian nuclear waste when his father had died young of leukemia. This is the me, selfish, perfect storm. They're so, people can't think anything through. They're so selfish. The great selfishness plague that has ravished the United States. Brother died, father died, sister died, cousin died, neighbors died, everybody died. The acute catastrophe called cancer epidemic, unless it's directly right there happening to them, and then the selfish plague. Wake me up before you go. Never really did plan on doing this solo, but it happened. So let's review. Standing right there, March 11th, March 12th, 2011. They're lying. Meltdown. Full core meltdown. They're lying. They're going to circle the wagons. They're going to lie. They're going to circle the wagons. Did they all lie? Arnie Gunderson for 7 years called it a hydrogen blast. Helen Caldecott said Japan was tidy, people, and fixed it all. Freaking David Suzuki and Caldecott says if 4 blows up, they're going to evacuate their family from Boston. 4 blew up immediately. The spent fuel's gone. Chris Busby on Zarty. Pacific Ocean's a big place. It will dilute. Did they all lie? They all lied. Kevin Blanch say they would? Kevin Blanch. This is going to never happen in the history of mankind. These spent fuel pools are cracked immediately on the shake, not the tsunami. The cores are cracked immediately. These are multiple nuclear meltdowns that have never happened in the history of mankind. Kevin Blanch, March 2011. Only person on Earth. Is that what happened? There's 2 checked off. 3. This is going to cause an energy to be pushed into the Pacific Ocean. They're just going to dump water on it, push it. They're going to freaking and go into full-blown out cover mode. They ain't going to do shit. They sent in 32 ships to entomb it. I know what happened inside the Situation Room. Barack Obama, freaking make it so. John Holdren, Haas Cartwright, Rahm Emanuel, the whole crew was to protect the nuclear industry. They backed out the ships from the evacuation and went into full-blown out cover-up mode. And we're going to fix it with nanotechnology. Is that what happened? There's 3. They couldn't handle it. They just went into Barack Obama on, remember the 6th of November in 2013, Kevin Blanch is at the White House, calls in TEPCO, fires the head of the DOE, realizes he's been had, realizes they have no handle on it, and just triple down on freaking cover-up. As Kevin Blanch said. Is that what happened? There's 4. Full blown out. They're going to push this energy into the Pacific Ocean. We're not going to know what it is. It's going to cause a heat bubble over the western United States immediately. The Great Salt Lake's going to go dry. Did it? The greatest drought in 1,200 years started in 2011. There's another one. Check it off. First of all, the tide pools will collapse. The sponges, the starfish, the sea anemones, the Upper California purple orchids, they will be first to go. They will collapse. Did they? Not only did he say that, how about this one? It's going to give you cancer. It's going to give you cancer. It's going to give you leukemia. It's going to give you leukemia. Then I got leukemia. I went into the bone marrow transplant on 11/11/11. Did that happen? Check it off. That fact alone makes this story so incredibly compelling. Klingon, given 2 months to live, actually walks the coast of California, documenting the dead tide pools while in critical condition. Wiped out. Financially destroyed. I was a millionaire when I got sick. I was uninsured. Mike Lee kicked me out Medicaid. You don't think that's attempted murder? Why I'm in a bone marrow transplant center. Why would he do such a thing? Check it off. The salmon will immediately collapse. The half-pounders, the steelhead salmon will immediately collapse in 2011, 2012, immediately start because they go to sea 1 years. Did it? Did it? Check it off. Just over 90%. Some rivers, most rivers, 99%. Direct hit. That map that comes out of my mouth. The Chinook salmon won't collapse until 2016 because they go to sea on average of 5 years. Record returns 2011, 2012, 2013 for millions. Did it? Did it? Check it off. Acute catastrophe. Plutonium, this energy is going to get into the trees. Pine needles hold freaking radiation. It's not going to be beetles. It's going to get into the trees. It's going to cause spontaneous fires all over. Did it? Did it? You need to, in Idaho, you need to get out there and rake up your forest. Abiy will be the kingpin of the cover-up. He will they will lead Obama and Trump around like this. And Biden. The media will all play ball. Everybody will go along with this. Academia sure isn't going to say it, but did they? Did they? Did they? Check it off. They will attack Kevin Blanch for telling the truth. Dozens of YouTube sites. Dozens. You know, most of them are gone now. Viciously. Dozens of Facebook pages, 100% entirely dedicated to slandering and attacking Kevin Blanch while he's in critical condition, which are felonies in all 50 states. Did they? Did they? Check it off. Who paid for them? I investigated. Our investigative journal, we dug it out. We went to the FBI. The NEI, the Department of Energy, the same people that murdered my father, nuked him to death in the Nevada test site, the Special Forces Marine. Did they? Did they? Check it off. Cancer rates are going to spike and go crazy over North America. Did they? Did they? Oh, psychotic. Check it off. This is an energy that was unforeseen in the history of mankind. They won't know what it is. The scientists will be mystified, baffled, stumped, perplexed, bewildered, curious, alarmed. That's all we'll hear. The whales will go. They're plankton feeders. Did they? Whales were having a giant comeback. So were salmon. One of the greatest freaking stories in the history of environmentalists until Fukushima came. Did the whales collapse? I remember standing right there at Hippie Crit Point in PB where I grew up, and I grew up right here. And I remember telling Lisa, what are you doing? I says, getting ready for the whale epidemic collapse. That's the next in this chain. Freaking, you promised you would never break the chain. What did the Upper California purple urchin, the big ochre, the big California sea star say to the 60,000-pound humpback whale? Fukushima broke the chain. The plankton is gone. It killed our food. We're starving to death. The seals. Kevin Blanch talking to the seals. The seals will collapse. The sea lions will get full of leukemia and cancer and collapse. Did they? Did they? Check it off. What did the starfish say to the 60,000-pound whale? Fukushima killed my food. I'm starving to death. The 60,000-pound humpback whale replies to the Upper California purple urchin, to the sea anemone, to the California crimson. We too were starving to death. Huh. Scientists are mystified, they're baffled, they're stumped, they're perplexed. Is that even possible? Weber State University, every single science professor up there, every freaking single history professor, all of them. Cal Berkeley, San Diego State, UCLA, Oregon State, University of Oregon, all these marine biology departments are criminals. Every single one of them, every student who's ever had a class from one of them should sue them if they want their money back, and those professors should be all locked up. It's fraud. They bowed to the freaking nuclear energy crime syndicate, the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. First, they came for the indigenous people. For I was not an indigenous. I was I guess I was. I am an native. But you didn't stand up. Then they came for the buffalo. Wiped them out, slaughtered them. I did not stand up. Then they came for the craftsmen. Wiped them out. For I was a craftsman. I did stand up. You didn't. They came for my neighbor. They came for my cousin. They came for my uncle. They came for my grandparents. They came for my children. They came from freaking people in my community. They got cancer and died, for I did not stand up because I didn't have leukemia. Then it came for me. And I want to say this to all of you, to everybody. You know, not our tiny army. We fought. We defended. For Kevin reached into the stone and he slung the fucking stone. And it struck the fucking nuclear giant in his forehead. And it embedded in the nuclear giant's forehead. And the nuclear giant fell to the fucking earth. Read the rest of the scripture. Oh, it's biblical. It's fucking way biblical. It's unbelievable how everybody's played along. So when the doctor looks you right in the eye and says, I'm so sorry, you have a real radical, rare cancer that's really not so rare anymore. You're in big trouble. You need to go into a bone marrow transplant. You know. Isn't there a pill? No. I want you to hand him your merit badge. I work for CNN. I'm a producer. I'm a high school science teacher. I'm a professor. Grandma, can we read a bedtime story tonight? Yeah, come on. Grandma, can we read a bedtime story tonight? Yes, come on. Little. Grandma? We learned today at school that Fukushima blew up and these nuclear reactors freaking blew to smithereens and MOX fuel blew all over and everything, and it was all pushed into the Pacific Ocean and it genocided the Pacific Ocean, and then it moved around the globe and Earth and just was the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history, ongoing, and everybody played along and covered up. And there was this guy on freaking this PhD who went rogue, who was full of cancer, who told the whole world every single bit of the truth, and they attacked him, they slandered him, they tried to kill him, they financially wiped him out, they did every dirty trick in the freaking world. Everybody turned their back on him, and he was right the whole time. He tried to warn the world. Oh my God, that is horrible. Grandma, weren't you a professor at Weber State University? Weren't you a zoologist? Weren't you a biologist? Weren't you a history professor? Grandma, didn't you work for CNN? Weren't you a producer? Didn't you work for the San Francisco Chronicle? Didn't you work for Channel 8 in San Diego? Channel 7? Weren't you a news desk? Weren't you a producer? Weren't you a concerned grandmother? Weren't you just a conscious person? Grandma, didn't you work for NOAA? Didn't you work for the EPA? Didn't you work for the Trump administration? Didn't you work for the Obama administration? Didn't you work for the Biden administration? Didn't you work for the Gina McCarthy, Lisa Jackson, Scotty Pruitt? Didn't you work for these agencies? Didn't you get a paycheck every freaking week deposited in your bank account? Didn't you work for the Oregon Fish and Game and Wildlife? Didn't you work for Utah Fish and Game and Wildlife? Didn't you work for a paycheck to drive your shiny coffin in a circle, Grandma? How come you didn't say anything? How come you played along? I don't want you to read me a bedtime story, Grandma. In fact, I never want to speak to you again. My grandkids respect me, and I'll guarantee they will, because it matters. In the end, we'll see if it matters. Wake me up before you go. Never really did plan on going solo. What a fucking journey this has been. Who would ever believe it? I was right about all of it the entire fucking time. What did I get for it? Let's see, open heart surgery, a bill for $1.8 million fucking dollars. And I want people to understand this. In Utah, they have debtors' prisons here. They will attack a guy in critical condition full of AML leukemia. I was having open heart surgery. A guy named Michael Hawkins at Ogden Regional Medical Center, because I was cut off Medicaid, told me there's nothing wrong with me. I'm bleeding profusely. And I says, my heart. Now go see your dentist. The next day I collapsed in my yard. I completely failed to work out. Malpractice? He wasn't even really a doctor. I'm having open heart surgery, had my aortic valve replaced. While I'm in an ICU unit, the very hospital I'm in the ICU is calling me, threatening me on collections. I was a millionaire. Remember I had you buying all that Tesla stock in that Apple stock 2011? Remember that? Huh. I had to fork it all over to get into the freaking bone marrow transplant. You go talk to my daughter. Go talk to Fimbo. Go talk to Vincent. Go talk to him. Go ask him. They'll tell you straight up Kevin Blanch is the greatest miracle in fucking my 40-year career. For I fight for her. She fights for we from the fucking sea. It's the ecology, stupid! I will quote Celeste at East 8 Bone Marrow Transplant, LDS Hospital, Salt Lake City, Utah. Kevin Blanch, come here in the clinic one day. Come here. I've been here for 26 years. I got to tell you, I am so proud of you. A lot of people don't like the way you fight, your intensity, the way you struggle. The administrators of that hospital used to freaking threaten me while I was in there for shooting videos on. Now there's some girl jumping around dancing in there and gets millions of views and they encourage it. But they tapped me for doing it. Fimbo overrode him, says leave him alone. No, but a lot of people don't like your style and the way you fight. But just remember this. I've been here for 26 years. I freaking did your paperwork when you came in here. We ranked you a red 10. That's how sick you were. I've never in 26 years seen a red 10 walk out of here. I fully expected to freaking you to go out in a body bag that week. What you've done and what you've accomplished, I'll tell you, for me, is I've never seen anything like it. You should be extremely, extremely proud of yourself. Thank you, I told her. One person can say thank you. Wake me up before you go. Never really did plan on going solo. You guys can all be that. Hand them your merit badge. I'm going to be that. If you don't know about the 2012 San Francisco Giants, that was the day I was going in and out of coma. October 9th. It'll be 11 years that I got sick just in a few days. Like the night of Saturday night. I don't have a car. I don't have anything. Oh, yes, I do. The elephant's in the room. You can ignore it. All I ever wanted was my peace of mind. The greatest fucking comeback in sports history, bar none. They just played defense that night, a one-hitter. How they possibly went on. They threw a one-hitter at him, Cincinnati, on the road. They're down 2-0. They were that close to over. Not only did they come back, they won the next game and the next game. And come back again against thing, and then swept them in the World Series. Don't count me out. Don't count me out. You wish. So many of the nuclear energy, oh, they wish. They wish. For you are no match for me. Because I represent the ecology. I represent the fucking smallest California purple urchin at the fucking wells from the fucking sea. You broke the chain. It's the ecology. You're no match for me. For all those angels who died of leukemia, of cancer, inside that unit, there was 44 of them, the only one alive. Marshall Jensen, Carla Hennessy, I can go on and on and on. Nancy Peterson, I go on and on and on and on and on. All these people that passed away, Dwayne Dean, I mean, I go on and on and on and on. For those angels, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, literally, I fear no fucking evil. And everybody that's gone along with this apathy, your silence was their violence. I fear no evil. For those angels, they watch out for me. Wake me up before you go. Never did plan on going solo. Scientists are mystified. They're baffled. Fucking, was I right about every single thing the whole time? Me and Robin Hood. Stay tuned.